Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. Before we go any further, remember everyone, I'm so sorry, but the fan is going. I think you guys could probably hear it a little bit. It's the summer. For the next probably close to 20 to 30 videos, there's going to be the fan in the background. It's just too humid. It's just too humid. I need to have the fan on. I'll be sweating in the den, and then that's no good. I'm trying to lose weight. It's really uncomfortable. Be sweating when you're a little overweight in a room. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. In the last video, we did more work for Gunnar Edstrom and the JKK. They had wanted us to investigate the Acid Hunters, having believed that they had a device the Faceless were interested in, and they wanted to know what it was, what it could do, and where they got it from. The device itself, JKK had come to the had information about that it was currently in the hands of Cortec, having been acquired by Midland, whose last name I can't remember, Cortec's oligarch's son, who had killed the Praetorian leader's son over a dispute with it. When we met the Acid Hunters and we talked with them down in the sewer system, they confirmed everything that Gunnar Edstrom had told us. We then let them go. There was no reason for us to fight them, having gathered information, and we completed our task. Obviously. Why do I say stupid, meaningless stuff like that? In any case, we then went... Hold on. Okay. Well, actually, we don't have to hold on. We then went... Let's take a little time. We then were given a task by Gunnar Edstrom to infiltrate the Cortec laboratory that had this strange device in it. And try to retrieve it. He wanted us to give this device, or was hoping to get the device, and return it to the Faceless in order to get them out of Core City. That's really interesting. They didn't... Mr. Gunnar Edstrom did not want the device himself, had no desire to study it. He just wanted this situation with the Faceless resolved in a peaceful manner. I like that, given that Cortec's leader, having done his quest line multiple times now, at least 20 or 30 times, that tends to be that has been the organization I've completed the quest for, so I could proceed further on in the main storyline for the game. They wanted to study the device and possibly find out how it was used and then harness its power. In any case, we went to the laboratory, and there we unfortunately discovered that the Chortists took it. They broke in just as we had arrived at the facility that was that was performing tests on this strange device. And the Chortists took it. Holy crap, that sucks. Sucks for us. So, in any case, we were unable to retrieve it. We gave chase, we eliminated a few Chortists, but they cleared out of Core City. We returned to let Gunnar Edstrom know this, and while regrettable, on that same note, Mr. Edstrom was like, well, if it's not in Core City, Faceless will also clear out of Core City, and they'll track it to the Chortists and attack the Chortists. So, good for them, I guess. They've sealed their doom. In thanks for our task, Mr. Edstrom has purchased a house for us in the residential district of Core City. And we arrived, saw that it's the whole place was caved in on the inside, but it was structurally sound. We instructed Core City to renovate the facility, paid for the renovation of the second floor at the basement, got the lights turned back on, and also paid for some defensive plasma turrets to be installed to keep unwanted people out of it. And now we are walking around this episode to purchase the workbenches that I'll want so that we can do more crafting with very high quality components later on in the game. And to that end, we are here at Camp Hathor to talk with Fred to pick up a tailoring bench from him. So let's go ahead and get this started. Ah, my favorite customer. You know, I'm really interested in purchasing that tailoring bench over there. He gives you a surprised look, as if unsure whether he understood you well. This one? This? I need that for me business. It ain't for sale. Can we make some deal? I haven't seen another one anywhere else, and I need one. His stare jumps between you and the bench. Then he rubs his chin, scratches his head, and rubs his ear. After this unusual ritual, he answers. No, I'm sorry. I mean, I made this one myself. No, sorry. I'm willing to pay good money. He repeats the previous ritual, but a response comes a bit more quickly. Okay, listen here. This cannot go for under 1,000 charons. If you want it so bad, that's the price. Otherwise, it'd hurt me business, mate. Well, I've got 1,000 charons. Here's the money. Well, the bench is yours to take. I'm going to miss it, but... yeah, got coins to help me replace it. I can't take it right away. I'll see to it that the Core City Housing Corporation guys deliver it to my house. Yeah, I dig. No problems with me. By the way, what kind of solution are you using to treat hopper skins? Are you working with leather yourself? Sometimes. Oh, well, I'm using a mix of ethanol, alcohol, and glycerin, you know. The latter of which we get from animal fat. Wild boars are good for that, because they got plenty. I use the same solution for all reptile skins and such, and generally avoid using salts. Just be preference. Would you avoid it altogether, or just for reptile skins? Just for reptile. It's just better for the skin. For others, I cure them the traditional way, you know. Good to know. Alright, Fred, take care. Gotta go. Alright, cool. Let's go back to Core City. Let's go back to Southgate Station and take the train over to Rail Crossing, which is... no, let's go to Foundry and buy the electronics bench from West. Then we'll go to Rail Crossing, get the alcohol for the dude's quest, turn it in to him, buy the mechanics workbench there, and then go back to Core City so that we can purchase a few more things for our home. We'll also look to create a better pistol now that we have gun nut. So we'll do a little bit of shopping. I guess while we're near Rail Crossing, we'll stop by Oculus to look for a better pistol frame, and possibly, hopefully, make a better Hawker or Falchion pistol, since we're sticking with 7.62 pistol barrels. A heads up, everyone, that we're not going to be doing any real questing in this video. There's probably going to be very little, if any, shooting either. So if you're not interested in just hearing me read some dialogue and talk about random crap as we walk around, and do some shopping and or crafting, this video, you could totally skip it. You're probably not going to miss anything at all other than me opening a locker and getting what the dude wanted from it. Everything else will be done in the next video when it comes to the dude's main quest. Yep, an hour of just random stuff. And I guess since we're going to be doing random stuff, let's start talking about some random stuff as we're walking around here. So, what were we talking about last time? I think we were talking a little bit about Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden. So, as you guys may or may not know, if you've been listening to some of the previous videos on my channel, and for Underrail, whenever I get bored, I begin talking about other games that I've been trying. Bored, that's the wrong phrase. Whenever I run out of things to talk about, I try to think of what other video games I'm currently playing. And I think when I had been talking about Year Zero, I was not sure if I was going to record it for my channel or not. I began recording it. I had about 7 videos or so recorded on it. But then I began reaching areas where the game was a bit more blind, and I began to realize that the game isn't really a turn-based strategy game in the vein of XCOM. It's more of a puzzle game, which involves you cycling through your companions' different skills and having them set up properly to eliminate enemy sentries. The most of the game involves doing that, and we'll talk more about it after we get done talking with West. Welcome back, friend. I'm interested in buying that electronic workbench with all the integrated equipment. This one? I'm using that. I need it. Anything can be bought. You just have to name the price. His stare becomes glued to the workbench as he considers your words. With each passing second, you become more and more sure that he is indeed going to name a price. There are a lot of expensive tools in that thing. If I were to sell it, it would have to be for no less than 1,200 charons. Yep, that's what I'm asking for it. Alright, well, I've got that money here, West. Good. I'd help you carry it out of the store, but my back's a bit friable. Old age. What can I say? I'm not carrying it either. I'll see to it that the Core City Housing Corporation guys deliver it to my house. He nods. Alright, take care, West. Goodbye, friend. Alright, now also, a heads up, before we talk more about other video games. In the last episode, I had said that it is my belief that all the merchants now begin selling better quality equipment. I am completely wrong in that regard. Only some merchants do at this stage in the game. Everything in Foundry, let me rephrase. To my knowledge, the vast majority of shops in Foundry and Junkyard, and I think Rail Crossing, do not upgrade the quality of the gear that they sell. You will still be limited to purchasing mid-level equipment from them and mid-level components. The highest quality will peter out around 90 or so, 89 or so from these places. Some of the merchants might sell better gear, but I can't think of... Well, okay, so Fixer, for example, sells, I think, better acid pistol components in chemical and or like chemical blob dispensers and stuff like that. They get better, but most of the merchants will not sell better gear. Speaking of Rail Crossing, let's go over to Rail Crossing. And actually, that wasn't Rail Crossing. That was Fixer in Junkyard I was talking about. At Rail Crossing, I don't think anyone sells gear, again, better than quality 180 or so. But Southgate Station does. And I think all the merchants there will. Oh, I didn't stop by the Cyber Labs to double check there. Okay, well, it's too late now. Foundry, their metal merchant, as you saw, sells better quality gear when you defeat the beast. The metal you can buy goes up to quality 150, 155 or so is the highest you can get from them. Amazing stuff. Core City will now have a chance to have better gear, components sold from the merchants at the merchant district. And 1 second, we're here for Travis. Yeah? How much are you asking for that mechanic's workbench? He slowly looks at the workbench. I got it from a mechanic in Core City. It's brand new. 1 Kent, 3 wrenches. 1,300? Yep, here's the money. Bench is yours, man. I'm taking it now, or... Nah, I'll see to it that Core City Housing Corporation guys deliver it to my house. Okay. Let me double check him really quick. Oh! Okay, Travis actually is selling slightly better incinerate collectors. Now I see a quality 111 here for it. Looks like he sometimes sells pistol frames. I'm curious. I'll be right back, everyone. Hey, everyone. I have to stop the recording whenever I fire on the cheat engine. I'm curious, and for science, I'm willing to see if he... Oh! Well, I won't say no to a rapid reloader. I'm gonna buy that. For science, I'm curious if he sells higher quality pistol frames. We'll do it 5 more times. Doesn't look like he does. Okay, so his incendiary collectors look like they peter out about quality 120. Might be the highest you can get from him. Looks like he has a decent chance to sell components for crossbows or pistols. Okay, and his crossbows and pistols, I'm sorry, by components I mean add-ons. Looks like his quality 4 frames, though, is indeed locked to about level 80 or so. While we're here, let's go ahead and visit Deacon for some lockpicks. And even though I have the cheat engine enabled, we're not going to farm them. Alright, and while we're in this area, let's go ahead and visit Oculus and see what they're selling. Then we'll double back and get the... Oh! You know what? We'll come back to Rail Crossing for the Dude's Quest. We'll wrap up the episode by turning in the... Actually, we'll wrap up the episode standing by the dude with what he wanted us to get from the locker. And we'll turn it in the next episode, and then we'll do the entire dude's Rift Gate quest line, I think, then. And I still have the cheat enabled, but I'll leave it enabled. We'll see if Constantine will sell us a better pistol frame. Yeah, so the game isn't quite what I expected it to be. On that note, I don't think I like the amount of, as I was calling it earlier, the amount of busy work that's required to solve the puzzles. Since it requires me swapping in and out people, well, actually it doesn't, it does sometimes. It requires me moving gear around, and I find that sort of thing boring. I could just cut it if I was to record the game from the video. But, I don't know. I kind of wish the game was a different type of game. I wish it was more like the new XCOM game series. But the focus of the game is on stealth and properly using all of your abilities, being very specific with what upgrades you take on your characters in order to eliminate these sentries. Because otherwise, the game becomes significantly harder, and you are much more likely to get wiped out repeatedly from doing battles against more enemies that are stronger than you and do more damage than you. When I mean stronger than you, I mean they do incredible amounts of damage and have easily 2 to 3 times the amount of hit points your own characters have. And there's more of them. Battles against these groups of enemies is really grueling. At least if you're playing it on what the devs said was the intended difficulty setting. Hey Constantine, show me what you have in store. Alright, so I am here. I'm here for pistol frames. So let's go back to pistol frames. I don't really want a hammer. I might end up going for a 9mm, but I haven't made up my mind on that yet, so I'll pass on that. So we have the cheat engine enabled, so we're going to keep it enabled for a little bit. And we're just going to see what he sells. He sells a nanocomposite piece of gear, it looks like, on occasion. I won't say, as long as I'm using the cheat engine, I'm not going to say no to a rapid reloader that I see pop up. Let's do this like 10 more times, everyone, and then we'll call it. That's right, then we'll give up here. I don't really need a Neo Luger. So, you guys might be wondering, after seeing me use the cheat engine, why don't the merchants just do this normally? Well, I can think of a reason that I could show off here right now, I guess. So, let's see. Let's check this. So if I buy the SMG Steelcat, and I buy a 8.6mm firearm barrel for it, let me also turn off the cheat. That's 198 Stygian coins for it. If I then come over here... Oh, I better hope I have the SMG plan. I do, okay. And I make this SMG. We then whirl around and sell it back... Oh! He might not buy this. Let's see. Okay, he doesn't actually buy back the SMG. Interesting. Alright. I thought for sure he would. Alright, but he doesn't. Okay, so, but I think the reason why, one of the reasons why the merchants don't do this is because this is worth more. The value, instead of 5,000, is 8,898. When we take this back to Core City, we'll probably see that this we'll get back the Charons we just spent to craft this, and then some. So, at this point in the game, we can probably farm... I'm sorry, if the merchants didn't have the limit on their Stygian coins and didn't have this time limit on what they would sell, we could actually get an infinite amount of money from the merchants at this point in the game if our crafting skills were high enough. Right, now I am going back to looking for pistol frames. I guess we'll do it 5 more times. This doesn't really sell many pistol frames, does he? Two more? My falchion is made with, I think, a quality 121 falchion frame. So it's going to have to be better than that. Okay, one more time, but then we're done with you, Constantine. Alright, so he's not selling anything I'm interested in. I'm sorry, he's selling lots of stuff I'm interested in, but I'm not going to buy most of that at this moment. We could go to him and try to farm up plasma cores for electronics for the future, but we don't need them at, well, I don't care about them at this moment because we don't have the electronics to make a better shield or a power fist that could compare with what we're currently using at this point, given our current electronics score. Alright, so let's take the train, head on back to Core City, and we'll see if we can get a better frame from Oscar. I'm pretty sure he will sell better frames at this point. We'll also get a chance to see if our Steelcat sells for a decent amount of money. And while we're here at Core City, we'll go and talk with the housing representative and get the stuff moved into our house, and we'll take a look at our house while we're there. Alright, so yeah, so let's go back to talking about recording U0 and why I'm not doing it now. So, I guess most of you probably don't even care, right? Most of you don't even care. Well, I'm gonna talk about it anyway, because it gets lets me fill the dead air with something that I can talk about. So, I had wanted another type of turn-based strategy game to play. And while there are some battles that you will be squaring off against a group of enemies in the game, and it requires very careful consideration of what skills you use and who you use them on, I was hoping for something a lot more similar to the new XCOM game series in the end. And I think the game itself is marketed as that type of game. Let me check the Steam page for it. So it's a strategy RPG post-apocalyptic tactical. A tactical game combining the turn-based combat of XCOM with story, exploration, stealth, and strategy. So, I feel that is misleading. Although it does have the XCOM turn-based combat system in it, if you are involved in that type of combat, more often than not, you are going to die horribly in that game. You do not want to... Oh, that is a really nice plasma core. We are totally taking that. You do not actually want to be fighting the enemies that way if you're playing it on the developer's intended difficulty setting, which is the hardest difficulty setting. Very hard. That's a shame, because the game really has great mechanics in it for that sort of thing, but it punishes you. It really punishes you if you do try to play the game that way. And so I feel that's a bit, again, a bit misleading, the way they've phrased it there. Okay, so before we do anything else, let's go talk with Oscar. And we'll sell this. And as you can see, we get 100 extra Stygian coins for crafting the Steel Cat. Let's show you another example as to why I think the merchants are probably designed the way they are in this game. So, the cheat engine is still enabled. Let's see what type of frames he's selling. He's selling no pistol frames at this moment. Ooh, a 133 Samaric plate. If I was making an anti-rifle overcoat, this would be amazing. But I'm not looking to make that. So... nothing here is... oh, okay, so... we have the mechanics for it. So let's take the Corsair sniper rifle frame here. And that's a 12.7 millimeter is the largest barrel for it. And he sells them, so let's buy one of these. So if we wanted this, it's 311 charons for it. Let's also disable the cheat. Is he selling any other upgrade parts for the sniper rifle? He is. He's selling a barrel retractor. So let's buy this also. That's 644 Stygian coins. All told for all of that. Now, I kind of have to hope I have what it takes to make this. I think I will. I need a scope. Okay, so the scope was going to be more money from him. But I have scopes lying around here that I'm not going to put to any good use. So with 611 Stygian coins to purchase at the very least those items to create this. And it's worth 748 upon selling it back. Are you selling a scope? He's not selling a scope, so I can't really see how much more of a profit this is. But this is all the money he's got currently on him, and we actually have a little bit more purchasing power. So it's probably, we can probably safely say this includes the cost of the scope in what we would be able to purchase from him normally. So as you can probably safely see, at this point, we could indeed just buy frames, buy barrels, whirl around and sell them right back to the merchant right in front of him and make a profit. I think if we had mercantile as well, this would be even better for us. And I think this is probably the main reason why Stygian Software designed the game this way. And it's also a reason why I don't mind the way that Stygian Software designed the merchants. I think they're fine. I think they're perfectly fine. Although it is a bit frustrating when you are looking for a better barrel, or a better barrel, a better frame, or some in particular very important part, and the merchants just won't sell it to you. Which is why we're going to use this now in order to farm up some better frames. So let's use the cheat engine again and look for them. Let's see. Holy crap, a quality 142 Hawker frame. We are absolutely buying that. And as long as I'm buying things, we'll buy some extended magazines. And he's selling a laser sight, we'll get that too. So we don't have a Hawker, we have a Falchion. Let's see if we can get a better Falchion frame to show up. We'll do this like 10 more times, everyone, and then that will do it for us. I won't say no to a rapid reloader. And that's the last rapid reloader I'm going to buy this way as well. Let's see. 135 Falchion frame. It's better than what we currently have. It's probably just... It's very close to what we have, though. But I think it's worth buying it. Let's check another 5 or so times. Remember again, everyone, that you can do what you see me doing without the cheat engine in a way. You would just let the game run for about an hour and a half and then click on the merchant again. What you see the merchant selling is also what would be for sale if you waited that hour and a half, as far as I can tell. The game does not mix up what shows up in the merchant's inventory whenever I click on him again. Like, for example, if I was to reload the game, come back to Oscar, the second or third time that I would cycle through his inventory this way, he would sell this exact same Falchion that we purchased from him, and the same Hawker. They would be available for him at exactly the same time, which I think is interesting. It means that you can't reload the game and hope for some better quality items if you had saved the game just prior to the merchant recycling their inventory. 2 more times, and then that's it for us. Oh, 141. We'll take that. All right, let's see what we can make with these frames. And we'll, yeah, we'll disable the merchant refresh now. All right, so, yep, we're here. We'll do it now. So, we need some 7.62 barrels. I'm pretty sure I have some of them in here. I thought I did. That's a .44. I have even more rapid reloaders. We'll take out all of them. Really? Oh, here they are. Okay, we have 5. I have a laser sight. Let's get another laser sight. Take an extended magazine. All right. Let's see what we can create and how better it will be than our current pistol. Assuming I have the required mechanics, this is going to be very close. But if we don't have the required mechanics, we did just buy the mechanics workbench, so that could possibly scoot us over the requirement. So first off, let's make a pistol that looks exactly like our current one. Let's see what the difference is between our 135... Okay, so the 135 Falchion gains 1 min point of damage and 7 max points of damage. Everything else about it will be the same, and it's 1 higher level. The 141 frame is 3 higher levels, level 24. It's 1 more min damage, still, and 8 max damage. Interesting. So it's not that much better. There must not be a durability 23. It's 1 more point of max. I mean, we should still create it. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and make this Falchion. And if nothing else, that will be the new one we'll use instead of our old pistol. And this one will be slotted to be sold. I should repair it, though. It'll be worth even more money. Okay. Now, we did pick up that Hawker frame, So let's see. We're going to make it. We may as well make it. So let's see how this compares. By the way, you'll note that I am always choosing the laser sight as an upgrade, nothing like an extended magazine or so on. I don't have rapid fire as a perk at this moment, so I'm not going to really chew through the bullets in my magazines. So I don't use the extended magazine. And because Decker isn't focusing on perception, this precision increase of the laser sight plus 10%, I think that I don't quite know what that means, actually, now that I think about it. All my hundreds of hours of playing this game, I just know that our chance to hit goes up with this. And so, because I don't make characters that really focus on a particular statistic, like my dex, we're not putting more points in it. At least I don't think we are. 9 is where it's going to be left at, or possibly 11 at level 26. The same thing with precision. That's stopping at 9, or it might get 11 at level 26 when I take the feat. So, the laser sight helps make up for it. That I'm also playing the game on normal also helps, because the enemy's dodge and evasions are lower on normal mode. In any case, let's create this weapon. Actually, I guess we'll compare it with this, because this is far easier to do here. So first off, okay, this is also a level 24 pistol. We would lose 2 min damage. We would pick up 5 max damage. We lose 5% crit chance. I think I prefer my falchion, but we'll make this pistol anyway. That one I'll hold on to in case I change my mind. And since I've got the pieces, we may as well make that other falchion as well. Okay. Well, let's see what Garcia is selling really quick while we're here. She's buying a belt and a leather armor today. Okay, so a belt and a leather armor. And my cheat is no longer enabled, and I don't need your cheat engine. Thank you for the help. Alright! Oh, we should see what she's selling really quick. Maybe she's selling something I actually want. Oh. Well, I'm not going to say no to quality 145 soft foam padding on the off chance we want that for something. So let's take that. Aha, Alphabet! How do you like it when someone gets it your way? Screw you, Alphabet. I hate you. Alright, so let's leave this behind. And now, let's head upstairs and say hello to the housing person. The Core City Housing Corporation representative, so that we can get all the stuff moved into our home. And then we'll go back to around where Rail Crossing is, get what the dude wanted, and get it delivered. And get ready to do the dude's quest in the next episode. So while we still got some time, I guess we'll talk more about recording videos and YouTube and what have you. So, yeah, so I don't think it's really that interesting in the end to play Mutant Year Zero, because it's a puzzle game, not a tactical combat game for the vast majority of the game. Most of my time playing the game, most of those hours I spent recording, was getting my characters set up in the proper position, moving equipment around, staring at their upgrades to make sure I didn't choose the wrong ones when I leveled them up, and then executing the kill on the sentries. And as fun as it is, it's not very entertaining, I think, to watch that. So it's not going to be a game that graces the channel in the end. And I'm very glad that I have played the game for probably close to 30 hours now or so first before I made that decision. This goes for other games that have graced my channel, by the way. We'll talk more about it in a few seconds. Hey, Giles. So, I need something for my house. For the basement, I recently purchased a mechanic's workbench from a man in Rail Crossing. I would like you to install it in my basement, please. Here you go. 50 charons to deliver it. Just tell us where to go. Look for Travis. He has a small shop right near the entrance to Rail Crossing. I have an electric workbench as well. It's at West Electronic Shop in Foundry. It's in the residential area. And a tailor workbench also in Camp Harthor. Look for Fred, the leather merchant. You can't miss him. Right off the docks. I'd like to set up a workshop in one of the rooms for, Oh, we can buy more shelves, what have you. Okay. We offer electro shelves for 300, standard shelves for 150, and a tool of cabinets for 250 apiece. Let me have an electro shelf. I'll also take a tool cabinet, and I'll also pay for standard shelves, too. While I'm doing this, let's see. Okay, let's hold on. Let me see, is there anything else for Giles? Okay, we can still talk about these rooms. Oh, actually, okay, so hold on. So we want more shelves for our leatherworking area. Okay, so that will do at the moment, Giles. Thank you. So we've now bought all the workbenches. We had them moved to our house, and we bought extra shelves and what have you for the workbenches that we purchased. We're now at 15,101 charons. So all of that was about 5 extra thousand. So 10,000, more or less, very close to 10,000 to renovate the basement floor, the second floor, re-outfit the lights in the house, and install the security systems, which we're going to see right now. And then $5,000 more for the benches to purchase them, the cost of moving them, and to place a few more shelves and cabinets down near them. So let's talk about how efficient or effective all those purchases are. So it's going to be a bit of a... it's going to sound negative, but it's just the way the game is. So first off, to my knowledge, your house is never attacked, although you will be ambushed in your house at one point, depending upon if you have the DLC and how you decided to complete the DLC when you finally turn in the acorn at the very end of the DLC. You might get ambushed in your house by an assassin. Your defensive systems in your house, the plasma sentry you can buy to walk around, the plasma turrets in your house, they do not fire on the assassin at all. So and to my knowledge, your house is never attacked by anyone else. You're never threatened by anyone else here. So buying all this stuff for your house is pointless. It was about 10,000 bucks. Well, actually, yeah, about 10,000 bucks that you don't need to spend a penny on. Turning lights on or off doesn't really help you very much because unless you're ambushed, in which case it's very helpful to have the lights on. It doesn't matter if your lights are on or off in your house, other than would you want to walk around a dark house or not. The shelves, like as we can see here, these shelves to store stuff in them. If you're obsessed with storage like I am and making sure everything is in very particular places so that you know where to go when you want to access some of the stuff you're holding on to, if you're a pack rat like me, then it's useful. But you can leave stuff directly on the floor, and you can leave it on the floor in the rooms you're in, and you'll never have to, and it's free if you do that. So, it's more cost-effective to not buy any of the shelves for your rooms. You don't need it. My mechanics workbench must be in this room. Oh, there it is, right there. So here is the, whatchamacallit, the electronics workbench we purchased from West. Here is the mechanics, this electronics workbench we purchased from West. The other workbench we purchased from Rail Crossing, and this is the one we purchased from Fred in whatchamacallit. Now, heads up, I haven't really searched my house for secrets. I wonder if there's a secret someplace here. Tim says as he swings his cursor over everything. I'm imagining nothing that was dropped off at our house is secret and has an oddity item in it. I don't see anything here. We're gonna check together on screen, everyone. How funny would that be if there was something secret in here and no one checked? It could be so super well hidden also. Like the tile that had the key in it when we go and do the dude's quest later. Oh, we're gonna check. We're totally checking. Alright, so while we're doing this, because there's nothing else really for us to do while we're doing this, let's talk a little bit more about other games. So, another example of a game that I thought was one thing, but ended up being something else, was Vaporum Lockdown. Right, I liked Vaporum Lockdown. It was a decent game, but it wasn't what I had hoped it would be. I was hoping it was like Legend of Grimrock, or even like the first Vaporum game, but it's not. Vaporum Lockdown is a puzzle game first, and a grid-based combat game second. I guess there's no real way for me to say it in a nice way. It's not a bad game. I liked playing it. I'm glad I played through it. I will never play it again. I was disappointed that it didn't focus on combat, but focus on puzzles instead. The puzzles themselves take a long time to do, also. So, in retrospect, I don't regret playing it. I don't regret recording it. It won the survey result. But had I known it was a puzzle game, I would have put it into a different category for my channel. I would have put it in a puzzle game category and not the dungeon crawl category. And I feel that Mutant Year Zero, again, is a puzzle game. I haven't played very many of those on my channel, and the ones I have played have not been very popular. Now, I don't really care about popularity very much. I'm not a popular YouTuber, and I never will be. Let's get that out of the way. I never expect to be, and I hope I never am. Let's put that out there as well. Popular YouTubers have a lot more to worry about than I have to worry about, so there's that too. And there's nothing secret in my house as far as I can tell, so there you have it. In any case, so with Year Zero, now that I have played it for so long, I put a good amount of time in it, and I understand what the game wants me to do. I also know that it's not a game that I would like to record. It will be far too boring, because it'll either be really quick, because I cut all the parts of me doing all the prep out so as not to bore you viewers, or it will be really long, because it can take up to about 30 minutes to properly decide to set up what I'm going to engage and how I'm going to engage it, and the order at which I will be fighting the enemies in, because all of this is super important to do the game properly without you being wiped out because you accidentally aggroed every single enemy on the entire map because you planned something incorrectly or your character missed a 75% chance to hit. So I would not, if I was to cut all that out, I feel that I would be doing a disservice to the viewers of the game who might not realize how much time is involved in doing that amount of work. And while I could also play the game on a lower difficulty setting, I don't like playing games on a difficulty that was not flagged as being the difficulty the game was designed around. It's one of the reasons why I don't really want to play Underrail on hard or dominating difficulty. It's possible, I think I'm good enough at the game, especially now that I've seen like Knife Gaff and Jean-Luc Picard. I'm trying to rack my brain. A few of the other viewers of my Underrail. You know what? Let me do this. Let me pop this up really quick, because I know if I go look at my comments, I'll find a few of the other people whose name is like Rob Rowe, another guy who. Oh, Oodaloop C. These are people who, and thank you guys very much as well. People who visit my Underrail videos in particular very often. They like them. Thank you. I like having you guys visit. It's super great to have people comment on my videos who have also played this game, and people who have not. But getting comments from people who have played the game, who give me tips or make me realize that I might have missed a thing or two, has been incredible. And I'm really glad for all the advice as well. And I forget why I'm talking about this now, but viewers for this stuff. So I wouldn't want to give the viewers the impression that the game is one thing if it actually is pretty involved in another altogether that's different. Speaking, by the way, of Knife Gaff, I was watching one of his videos on dominating mode, and he had seen a hidden locker that I think is over here. And now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. So this is one of those interactables that doesn't show up when you hold down tab. It's right here. It does show up very briefly if you hold down tab. You can see the locker completely through the wall here. Look at that. I never would have seen this. And it's so far away from everything else that I would not have walked over here to search it either. I think there's money in this. 100 Stygian coins. We'll go ahead and grab them. Don't forget to drop by Knife Gaffs and tell them thank you for that, because I never would have found that. I'm wondering if maybe a few of the items I have swung my mouse over and it became a finger. I wonder if you guys knew about all of them so far, if maybe one or two of them have been new for you. As I've said, I am now obsessed with the idea that we can find out, like, for example, what that one key item is we get from the faces at the very end of the game. I am positive that there must be something secret somewhere that you can interact with that will tell you what that is. It could be that it's not implemented, right? That's the ongoing belief. But and we're not where we want to be. But oh man, how great would it be to find that? But that would mean swinging our mouse cursor over every pixel to figure out where it is. It would just be like Stygian Software to hide something like that. So, about lockers, like that locker, there's a game I've been meaning to record, but whenever I think about it, there's other games to record instead. A long time ago in the 90s, there was a series of games called Ultima. And the only game series for it that... Well, actually, there were two that I played. There was the Ultima Underworld series, 1 and 2, though I really only played 1. I never played 2 very long when I played 2. It was a bit weird compared to 1. But in any case, there was also Ultima 7. And in Ultima 7, there were a few very well-hidden pixels that were actually containers. And they had, like, late-game gear in them, for example, if you knew where to look and what to click on. The one in particular I'm thinking of is the one that was in Scarab Bray, if I recall correctly. There was a hidden locker by a hidden switch by a crypt, and you had to get your cursor on the exact pixel to flip it. And then, when you walked into the crypt, you had to walk perfectly into the entry without going too far in order to be able to access this very small dresser drawer. And in it was everything you needed to complete all the quests in Scarab Bay. Scarab Bay, including stuff that was unquest related. A whole suit of magical armor. I think a scythe of slaying was in it. Amazing gear was inside of it. And I remember finding that by accident when I was a kid. For some reason, I noticed the pixel by the crypt. And when I flipped the switch, I became super suspicious there was something else secret in that area. It turns out there's several things of that nature in the game. In that game in particular. Anyway, I keep meaning to play that game. But, well, other games have popped up instead. Maybe we'll eventually get to it. Tim says, flippantly. As I give a non-response. Maybe we'll play it, maybe we won't. Yep. Let's fill that dead air with stuff, with statements like that, which don't mean anything whatsoever. It's all about fitting into the schedule. That's what it comes down to. Okay, this is the locker the dude wanted us to open, and it's got 20 bottles of mushroom brew in it. While we're here, Tim, why don't we swing that cursor over everything to see if you can interact with things? Nothing here, nothing secret, nothing there. No boxes I can interact with. There's enough of these items that the cursor doesn't... that aren't highlighted when you hold down tab. That I am positive there's some incredible ones hidden that no one has found in this game. And as someone who loves exploring and finding secrets, this is what I live for in games. Finding the things that people haven't found. Or finding things they found, but found them on my own. Which I like doing also. Alright everyone, so that about sums up this video. There's not much more to talk about because we're about to walk in and stop the recording because we got what we need. It's going to be only one more minute to walk the dude. So I'll stop it here. I will thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it was fun and entertaining. And I will see you all in the next one, where we will attempt to do Dude's Quest. Including the Great Army Base. This is going to be tough. I have a hunch it's going to be a lot of fighting. But when we're done, we'll have an incredible looking suit of armor, which I'll probably stick with as our armor for a while. And then I'm thinking we will probably... I think we'll probably do more exploring first before we start the DLC. We'll hold off on the free drones as well until we're probably halfway through the DLC or so. Alright, but I'm babbling. Thank you guys for watching again, and I will see you next one, I hope. Take care, everyone.